Good day everyone, so today we're going to talk about Dracoo Master. So Dracoo Master, I only heard about it from Heroes TD because they did a collaboration with this game to do an AMA, and that's where I heard about it. So I visited the website, and the Discord channel is actually fairly big. They already have 50,000 members in it, which is great. I also checked their Twitter channel. It's already around 76,000, which is awesome. And checking at the Twitter audit, it's 95% good. So that means that this is a very legit game in terms of community. So I think we've already ticked one of the boxes that's important for this game. On the get-go, you can see that the game will be available in both mobile and PC. And looking at the dragons, design-wise, I think I really like it. And the spire at the back would be what they will call as the PVE roguelike game, which we'll get into in a bit. So let's go through down here. They have the trailer here available, so we can go through some of the parts of it because I want to go through some of the important aspects that they want to share here in the trailer. So we're gonna go for here, read this one. So the roguelike game is the PvE aspect of the game. So they call it roguelike because you're going to build a deck at the start, I would assume. Then the more you get up, the more you do battles as you go up to the PvE levels, then you'll get the option to pick new skills, and that will be used for your battles moving forward. It's kind of like reminding me of what Spire is. If you're familiar with Spire, that's a very fun roguelike game. It's probably one of my most favorite ones. It's also a card battle game, but very difficult to play. I've only managed to finish it maybe a couple of times, but definitely it's a fun game. Now the thing that will make you feel like, okay, this game looks so very familiar, is because of this. So I think if you played Axie Infinity, then definitely this is already something very familiar to you. So it's pretty much inspired with Axie Infinity with a little twist in terms of their PvE modes, and they will also have guild versus guild modes, which is very cool. Now, in terms of tokens, they will have two. They will have Big Amber Stone and Dracoo Point. So Big Amber Stone would be the corresponding SLP token. Then for Dracoo Point will be their governance token, which is the AXS token. So just take note, in terms of economy, I hope that they will manage to find the issue and fix the issue that, Axie has and even Idle Mystic has. I talked about this in my previous video about having dual tokens, because dual tokens with the unlimited version kind of has an issue in terms of maintenance, right? So token and burn sometimes is one option to do it, but at the end of the day, they really need to find a lot of use cases for the in-game currency token. So in terms of game modes, they have PvE, PvP, then enhancing, so which means you're gonna level up your dragons. Then of course you have breeding, so pretty much same as what Axie is. And in order to get your dragons, you can purchase in the NFT marketplace, or purchase from players, or purchase eggs. Now the game already did their NFT sale, so you can actually purchase these dragons in Tofu NFT, but unfortunately Tofu NFT right now is lagging a lot, so I can't even visit the website at the moment. So if you want to check it out, just look for Dracoo and make sure that the marketplace that you pick would have the verified tick, so ensure that these are the original dragons that are part of the game. Alright, then the price there, as far as I can remember as of today, 0.3 BNB would be the cheapest one that you can buy, and that one contained like pretty much all common parts with one rare part. So up to you if you want to get into that. Just take note that you need at least 3 dragons to get into the game, so that means like you will probably have to purchase at around 1 BNB or 1.2 BNB to get a full set team. But again, these are probably what they call as the Genesis dragons, right? The original set. Then once they do breeding, then those are the dragons that will be available in the market. So hopefully the price for those wouldn't be as expensive as the original dragons. Now of course the concept of play to earn, so same idea, you do missions, you do PvE, you do PvP, ranking rewards, and so on and so forth. So these are the pretty much common concepts on getting the tokens for the game. And the roadmap, which is very important. So stage 1, they've already done all of these. They already have Facebook, website, token, contracts, social media accounts, and so on. They've already done those. For stage 2, they've already done part of it, which is the NFT pre-sale, publishing white paper, trailer. They've done it, demo launch. So the Dracoo tokens is not yet here, but hopefully they can get it out this December. Same for the rest of the items here. So once they have those, then the marketplace would be the place to go to instead of Tofu. Then for stage 3 will be the breeding system, the vote on Origin Dracoo blind box avatars, then journey mode for the PVE testing. Then they'll do the beta also within the same stage. Then peak reward system goes live. So this is the start of when we can actually earn from this stage 3, but I would assume this is going to be Q1 of 2022, scattered all throughout the entire quarter. Then probably this one will be in Q2 2022. So they will have Arena Raid leaderboard, Summoner Joint NFT sales, recycling system, blind box sales, guild system, CD rating mode. So there's going to be a lot of things happening in Q2 or Q3 2022. So hopefully that happens. But right now we're going to focus on Q1. Hopefully they'll be able to execute all of these. But since they didn't mention any specific timeline here, so that's just my assumption. So hopefully everything will be done for Q1 so we can start earning from the game. In terms of team, so they have 4 main people in the game. So they have the lead artist, BD director, operation director, and game marketer. Now you can check the accounts in this one for Ricarda. She is actually in LinkedIn. And I'm assuming that this is a legit account. You have the complete resume of Ricarda, and it clearly mentions here that she is part of Radbug. So Radbug is the name of the company that they developed. I checked it here on the grid. They mentioned that this company was set up in May 2021 for 4 people. So I would assume those 4 people would be these. So you can also check the Facebooks for these ones. For Adrian, it's not working, so I can't really double check that one. But again, at the end of the day, I think they are legit. But then again, that's my perspective. So do your own research. So at least in terms of team, they're kind of docs. So I can tick that box as well. So now let's get into the white paper. And let's look into the gameplay. So here in the gameplay, how it works is that they will have round-based game. So every 30 seconds, you need to pick the cards that you will use. And that will be played on the next round against your enemies. Then stamina crystals, again similar to Axie, you have a limitation of the number of cards that you can play, and for this case you have 3 stamina crystals. Then that will depend on how many stamina crystals your cards will consume, then that's all you can play for the game. Then it will refresh every new round. Now for cards, again, it will trigger various attacks, gaining statuses and everything. So if you're familiar again with Axie Infinity, then this is something new. Alright, then game modes. So this is what I'm most interested on, as I mentioned earlier. So PVE mode, what they did here is a bit of a roguelike game. So the main thing that I mentioned here is that it is a fun roguelike card game. So this is probably what they've been marketing Dracoo Master on, and I think this is a very fun aspect of the game. I do agree with the adjective that they used here, because again, as I mentioned, I'm a fan of roguelike games, and Spire is probably one of my most favorites. So here it uses 3 Dracoos to build 12 kinds of basic cards, starting with 12 cards to climb the Sacred Peak. Now, would you choose a safe path without rewards, or challenge dangerous enemies to plunder rich rewards, so obtain powerful colorless cards during the climbing process to build more complete card chain? Obtaining artifacts from the boss and collecting different artifacts will help you climb the summit of the peak. So again, as I mentioned, you have the option to just play safe but you get nothing, but you play riskier, then you get a lot of new cards which will help you fight bosses throughout the entire PvE mode. So we'll see how this game implements. I like the idea, so I'm really excited about it. And they also mentioned that no games will exactly be the same, meaning that everything is going to be random. So we'll see how it works. PvP Arena, so this is something new. This is going to be their leaderboard game where people will try to rise up and rank up and be one of the best players in Dracoo Master. Guild versus guild is going to be a completely different item here, so this is something very new for me. So the guild will actually take days to complete, so the homeland war will continue for several days until one homeland is breached. Rewards will be calculated and distributed based on players' achievements during the event. The points of the achievement vary according to the selected game mode. Also, there's different game modes. Participants with different points will be assigned to different levels and will be rewarded at the end of the game. So I think that's a good concept that they did, you know, rewarding people who participated the most or contributed the most in terms of in the guild versus guild battle. Then I think that's a very balanced way of doing it. So missions, this is going to be the daily quest, I would assume, so you will get rewarded with BAS tokens. Then achievements, of course, is just another way of getting more rewards from the game. Then cards, of course, will be the ones that you'll be using during the fight. So you have attack cards, magic cards, and ability cards. Then the summoner, I think, is just more of aesthetic type of NFT. So it's something that you can collect, but it's not going to impact the game, but it's going to make you look good. If players see like, oh, he has a silver or gold or diamond frame, that's pretty cool. And also leaderboards, as I mentioned earlier, more for PvPs. Then of course guilds, we're not going to get into the details for the guilds. So here they mentioned that there is low threshold to get into the game. So this is something I'm not very clear with. So they mentioned here like common access pass users who download apps through App Store and Google Play will contain free random Dracoo. So I mean, does that mean that you get free Dracoos? Then players can enjoy all modes of the game through these free Dracoos and obtain monetary incentive assets on our chain. The user must link digital wallet to withdraw the digital currencies assets in the account. So again, this is not very clear to me because I think it contradicts to what they've mentioned in, I think, a different part of the, I'm not sure if I read it in the website or here also in the white paper, that you need to have the free dragons. But my understanding there is that you need to buy free dragons. But here they're mentioning it's going to be free. But then again, the question is, you know, how free is it in terms of earning tokens in the game? So I would assume you're not going to earn as much as the dragons that are being purchased in game. So we'll see how this works. So Big Amber Stone would be the, as I mentioned earlier, is the SLP blind box. They already have sold the blind box already. Unfortunately, we can't visit Tofu NFT, so I can show you what it looks like. Then Dracoo Point. So the IDO is going to happen soon, hopefully in December, because that's their target for the IDO, dual trait token. Then I think that's about it. So I think at the end of the day, it's a pretty straightforward concept, right? So if you're familiar with Axie, then definitely this game is a shoe-in for you. It's not very difficult to understand. But for new players, it's just basically a concept where you have free dragons, free characters that you can pit against the enemy, and if those free dragons would have specific card sets that you can pick depending on the skill sets that they have, then that will be used in game. So it will still depend on what available skills that these dragons will have, and you can also do breeding to get, you know, mix match of those skill sets, and hopefully you can get the better ones into one dragon and use that to win the PVE or PvP modes. So I think at the end of the day, this is a very nice game. So we've ticked the community, we've ticked the team, although I didn't see any partnership information though. So that is curious. So I don't know if they have any partnerships. I would assume they have one, or they have some at least, but I'm not seeing one right now. So that box is not yet ticked. So I'll try to check further if they're gonna have one in the future. I mean, for a game something this big, I mean, they should have at least someone investing in them. It's impossible that they don't have any. Alright, with that guys, I think that ends my video today. So if you find it interesting, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll try to find more games that I can see that are still upcoming or already starting, but you know, they have decent community, decent teams, and decent partnerships. I think it's worth looking into. So with that guys, thank you for watching the video, and hope to see you again in my future videos. Stay safe, people.